Why, hello everyone. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Story Mode on PlayFrame. Let's get back to that main story today, shall we? Also, let's get back to being a samurai, a job I can actually do. I think that's in our best interests. Anyway, let's not delay. We've got main story quests to do. If you would please open the door, my good man. All right, everyone, how are we doing? Whatever Asahi's planning, we cannot let him have his way. After all Lord Hien has done, the Empire cannot be suffered to hinder Doma's restoration. I 100% agree. I'm investing so much over there. More often than not, it seems opportunity is wont to come knocking when the scions are about. So long as you and yours remain here in Kugane, I'm certain a profitable venture will present itself. I'm sure. Not my highest priority, I'll be honest. I'll replenish our coffers, you wait and see. If all goes as planned, we'll recoup the cost of Gosetsu's blade 10 times over. Goodness, how much did you spend? Alphino? Alphino has important news to share. Ah, Durman. Impeccable timing. We've just received a letter from Lord Hien. He writes that the Domans are coordinating their efforts with the Blue Kojin to maintain a constant watch over the Red. By staying on the lookout for signs of crystal hoarding and the like, they mean to nip any summoning attempts in the bud, thereby satisfying the conditions for peace set down by the ambassador. For the Garlean's part, the Populares have sent word that a vessel bearing Doman conscripts is soon to arrive in Yanxia. It would seem that the prisoner exchange is to proceed as planned. Lord Hien requests your presence, and I share his view that you should be on hand at this critical juncture. I concur. According to the letter, Yotsuyu's memory has yet to return, so it looks like she'll be living out the rest of her days in Doma. Assuming the ambassador means to honor the agreement, of course. Before we get to that, however, I think it would be wise to assess her condition one last time. If the Domans have missed any change in her mental state, however slight, it would be better if Asahi weren't the one to spot it. Agreed. Let's make straightaways for the Enclave, then. Lord Hien will be waiting. I trust you'll cope in our absence, Tataru? Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Just be sure to come back safely. I'll keep an eye on the twins. Fear not. I'm a great babysitter. You know I'm a great babysitter, right? Alphino's been keeping a very careful count of his coins lately. I doubt he'd ask for a sip of water without asking the price first. That's very cute. He's so embarrassed. I'm very much in favor of a peace agreement between Doma and the Empire. Loosen that imperial grip, I say, and let the trade routes breathe freely. You definitely have one thing you care very much about. All right, let's go see Hien. Here we are again, at the Enclave. Hakuro, how you doing? We've spared no effort to increase the guard at every settlement here in Yanxia. The Red Kojin will trouble us no more. On that, you have my word. I believe you. You're so tall. How can I help but trust you? Lord Hien is expecting you. May I show you in? Yes, please. I don't open my own doors anymore. Forgot how. Ever since he drained our coffers dry buying that sword, Alphino has had his purse strings in a death grip. I can't even buy a cup of tea without him going on about the dangers of frivolous spending. I love these two. I told you we would learn to love these two. It really didn't seem like it when they were introduced in A Realm Reborn, but can you imagine this game without these two now? I love them. We know the broad strokes from this letter, but I would hear the details of our Doman friend's progress from Lord Hien himself. Hello again. Ah, I see my letter reached you across the Ruby Sea. Thank you for coming so swiftly. Though I wrote at some length on the subject of the forthcoming exchange, there was one other matter I neglected to mention. It concerns Gosetsu. As you may have observed, he returned from his ordeal rather the worse for wear, and despite his best efforts to conceal his condition, or perhaps because of them, he recently collapsed. Oh dear. Good gods. Is he all right? Confined to bed and grumbling without cease, but he has shown signs of recovery. He made me promise not to tell you, lest you worry unduly, which was all very well when you weren't here. Now that you are, however, I think it high time he received some visitors. Might you spare him a moment? Yotsuyu has scarce left his side, and I imagine you're curious to see what has become of her as well. We will visit him at once. Derman, Alice, shall we? Yes.
Open wide now.
Please, Tsuyu. I'm not so frail that I cannot feed myself. I grow weary of the taste of gruel.
You don't like it? Can I fetch you something else?
Aye, wine! Or if that is not wholesome enough, I don't know. A sweet persimmon from Namai? I enjoyed them in my youth.
A persimmon.
Nay, pay me no mind. I am full. Besides, we have guests.
You could probably get something besides gruel if you asked. Gosetsu. I'm sure they have it. They're building food stalls out there.
I hope we are not interrupting your meal. We had heard you were confined to bed and thought you might welcome some visitors.
Confined to... a gross exaggeration. A trifle drained from my exertions, perhaps, but with a little rest, I shall be fighting fit again in no time.
Take off your clothes.
Gosetsu, is this how you've been spending your time?
My lady, I assure you, this is not...
Off with them! We need to wash you. You stink. What are all these scars? There are so many of them.
A life of battle will leave its mark upon a man. Is something wrong, Tsuyu?
It's nothing. I'm fine.
But leave me be, woman! I will not be fussed over like some newborn babe.
Oh, we're embarrassing him so by being here. They make a convincing pair, do they not? On first acquaintance, I would think him a doting grandsire and her a model grandchild. Indeed. Had someone told me a year ago that I would live to bear witness to such a scene, I would have declared them mad. That aside, I am relieved to see Gosetsu has lost none of his spirit. But what a turn of events. I mean, for her to suddenly be watching over him. You couldn't make it up. Although I suppose Gosetsu is an old man. With the way he charges through life, it can be easy to forget. Aye, he has resisted decrepitude with the same defiance he showed the enemies of Doma. But no matter how adamant his will, no man can carry on forever. He's pushed himself beyond the limits of endurance too many times. Even if his health returns, the fact remains, he'll never again be the warrior he once was. He has given his all for liege and land, and we will ask no more. And what of his nurse? If Yotsuyu is feigning that, well, she certainly has me fooled. This is no pretense. Oh, hi, Yugiri. Yugiri, out of all of us, I would think you the hardest to convince. So, what makes you so sure? I've been spying on Yotsuyu from the shadows, waiting for the misstep that would betray her charade for what it was. But her mask has never slipped, not once. She has remained in character from the first. One evening, I watched her as she sat in her chambers, unguarded and alone. She had taken the dishes from the cupboard and was pretending to prepare dinner right there on the tatami. A child's game. Even the wariest shinobi would not go to such lengths. I can but conclude that her mind is truly broken. Well, that's good enough for me. And everyone else, I would hazard. Aye, the matter is settled. Tsuyu will become Tsuyu and begin a new life here in Doma. Before that can happen, however, we'll need to present her to the ambassador one last time to prove that her memory is truly gone. But I would not risk parading her in front of our returning conscripts. Her presence at the exchange would only stir up mutinous thoughts. Understandably, she as good as fastened the chains around their necks. Aye, which is why I mean to conclude this business with Tsuyu first, out of sight of my countrymen. Will you help me? We are at your service. There's no higher purpose than the pursuit of peace. My thanks. The Garleans are on their way, and we must prepare to welcome the ambassador. We will meet you at the docks with Tsuyu. Okay. We are on our way in a second. Even after weeks of surveillance, it was difficult for me to accept that Yotsuyu's condition was genuine, but not as difficult as accepting Gosetsu's affection for her. The skiff will take us to our meeting with the ambassador. We will join you at the docks once preparations have been made. Sounds good. I'm off. Twins, ready to go? Can you imagine Yotsuyu playing with balls on the floor? I don't know that we can think of her as the same person anymore. Doesn't seem like. Shall we wait here then? Lord Hien should not be long. Oh yeah, I guess we should wait for the king of Doma or whatever. Shouldn't steal his boat. My friends, have you seen Tsuyu? She's nowhere to be found. What? But the Garleans will be landing in a matter of moments. If she's fled, could it mean her memories have returned? I know not. Yugiri is scouring the streets as we speak, but it is possible Tsuyu has left the Enclave altogether. Captain, a word. Did you perchance carry a fair-skinned woman across the river? A fair-skinned woman, my lord. I do not rightly know. I think... Yes, my lord. Now that you mention it, there was a lady among the passengers whom I do not recall having seen before. Her face was hidden by the brim of her hat, but I remember taking her hand to help her onto the boat. White as new-fallen snow it was. Was she someone important, my lord? Have I done something wrong? Wrong? No, I was merely hoping to catch our guest before she departed. Be at ease, Captain. 'Twould seem that Tsuyu has crossed the river. Kami help me. No good can come of this. Does seem pretty bad. I don't know which of these I'm taking, but like, I mean, sure. Doesn't seem like the time for gifts, but I appreciate your generosity. Her memory must have returned. Why else would she run? Without Tsuyu, I cannot see how the prisoner exchange, or indeed the peace process at large, can proceed. We have to find her, and soon. I agree. Let's go. Though his face betrays little sign of panic, Hien is plainly desperate to find Yotsuyu before something terrible happens. It seems Tsuyu has gone unrecognized thus far, but Kami help us if someone catches a clear view of her face. I must find her before that happens. The responsibility for her disappearance, for all of this, lies with me. But I would ask for your aid nonetheless. We are at your service, Lord Hien. Now, as before, let us make the crossing and begin our search. You go on ahead. Someone should let Yugiri know what we've learned. I'll join you on the other side. It's a plan. We have no way of knowing where Tsuyu is headed, so we'd best divide our forces. I'll take Kusakari and its surroundings. Alphino, if you would take the road to Castrum Fluminis. Derman, forgive me, but could I ask you to interrogate the residents of Yuzuka Manor? One of the Namuzu may well have seen our quarry. If everyone's in agreement, let's board the skiff and hope the kami smile upon our efforts. You got it. Okay. Let's go interrogate some fish. Fish, I come with questions.
Come. Should you desire shelter, Yuzuka Manor is open to all. All deadly beasts I will dispatch.
Thank you. You, Kyo-san.
Welcome to Yuzuka Manor. Yes, if there's anything you care to know, you need only... A pale-skinned woman. I've seen no such traveler, I'm sorry to say. Most sorry. Scaly-skinned Namuzu, on the other hand, we have in abundance.
Well, that's good. Catfish don't really have scaly skin so much. It doesn't matter. Who else can I ask questions of? Everything all right over here? Gyoku?
Unusually pale skin. Yes, I saw this woman on the way back from my fishing trip. She had just crossed the shallows east of here and was headed in a northeasterly direction, for the most part. Her steps did not seem certain. If you hurry, you might still catch her.
Everything still okay over here, though?
I thought you'd be on your way by now. Did you lose interest in finding your friend?
I didn't. I'm going. Tsuyu! Are you near the sparkles? You see no sign of Yotsuyu to the north. Perhaps she's somewhere farther off to the northeast. Let's go looking. Boy, flight is nice. Can't say enough good things about flying. As opposed to walking. Still no sign of Yotsuyu. Perhaps she is yet farther to the northeast. Hello? Did you make it all the way to Namai? Hello? Yotsuyu is nowhere to be seen, but lying on the ground a short distance to the north, you spy a familiar-looking wide-brimmed hat. Uh-oh. I hope it still has its wearer. It doesn't. This is not a good outcome. A cursory glance is all that is required to confirm your suspicions. It is the same hat Yotsuyu was wearing when you found her at Sakazuki.
Oh boy.
Dermin, before you ask, our search of Kusakari and its surroundings has yielded exactly naught, save this chance reunion with you, I suppose. Mistress Alice has gone to assist her brother at the castrum. It was she who informed me of the situation. I joined Lord Heian here shortly thereafter. How did you fare at Yuzuka Manor? Any sign of our missing guest? I found a hat. Towards Namai. By the kami, if the villagers recognize her, it'll not end well. We must hurry. Yugiri and I will check the patties. The village square is yours. Alrighty. Uh-oh.
Greetings. Might I have one of your... Wait! Please! I only wanted a persimmon.
Kami, save us! Her spirit has returned!
She's back from the dead to seek her revenge!
Oh boy.
It can't be. She couldn't have survived.
What did I do?
As if you don't know!
Good people of Namai, be at ease, I pray you. You have naught to fear.
My lord, forgive me, but what is that monster doing here? They told us she was dead!
I too was surprised to learn of her survival. More even than you, I would hazard. 'Twas I who cut her down, I who left her to her fate. But it would seem the Kami had other plans. By some miracle, both she and Gosetsu were spared when the keep collapsed, though Yotsuyu's preservation came at the cost of her memory.
You're saying she's forgotten? Forgotten everything she's done?
Lies! Lies! My lord, she would say anything to escape punishment!
What does it matter? We have not forgotten her crimes, and we demand justice! I beg of you, Lord Hien, draw your blade and rid us of this canker!
What I saw then, it's all true. I'm sorry! I'm so sorry.
You're sorry? And what? We're supposed to forgive you!
Here, there's no need to cry. Can't you see how scared she is? How can you be scared of her? She's not the same.
Until such time as her memories return, this woman shall be known as Tsuyu, and treated as a citizen of Doma. I will, however, see that she is watched at all times. Rest assured that there will be no more unannounced visits to the village. As your lord, I ask that you leave her fate in my hands, and suffer her to live, for now.
Please, Issei.
All right. I'll keep my peace. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
That could have gone a lot worse. I'll take it. And also, one of these tasty things. I guess this is the one that's most relevant to me skills-wise. Well, way to de-escalate. All of this over a persimmon. I failed to consider how she might endanger herself. Knowing she has the mind of a child, I should have continued my vigilance, not relaxed it. Well, hindsight. I don't know why everyone is so angry, but I got the fruit Gosetsu wanted. I hope he likes it. I'm sure he'll love it once he's calmed down. Hien's face is a picture of relief. That would have been better avoided, but at least it did not end in bloodshed. And judging by Tsuyu's reaction, she remains oblivious to the events of her former life. This was no escape attempt. Nay, it seems it was an offhand request of Gosetsu's which brought her to Namai. She came in search of a persimmon. Ha! And they say fruit is good for the health. I do hope Gosetsu finds the taste to his liking. Well, we certainly have taken the long way around, but let us continue on to Castrum Fluminis and our meeting with the ambassador. Alphino and Alice should still be there, conducting their search. Okie dokie. Bit of a late night meeting, but I suppose that's fine. You know what? Here we go. The Imperial airship has arrived. Whether our conscripts are aboard remains to be seen. Lord Hien informed us of the uproar at Namai. Thank the 12 you found Yotsuyu when you did. I dare not think what might have happened had you not. I was sure Yotsuyu had fled, but it seems her memory hasn't returned after all. How foolish of me not to consider Gosetsu's craving for seasonal fruit. Well, I mean, for whom would that be the first thought? Do we have to stay here long? He'll be waiting for his fruit. Hopefully not too long. It seems our Imperial guests have already arrived. 'Tis time to meet with the ambassador. I guess probably for the best this is happening out of the dark of night. Just so we have fewer mishaps with people seeing and recognizing our charge here.
What a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
A pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the selfsame spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Yotsuyu here today.
Indeed. Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
So I see. But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
Ah, Yotsuyu. You look well.
Of all the people.
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
Gosetsu. I have to take this to Gosetsu.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient. You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien. I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care. Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Dorma. Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
We continue with the exchange as planned, then.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador.
I know better than to trust Asahi, but that was a dirty trick. Still, unpleasant as it was, we have at least put the matter of Tsuyu's future to rest. I have sent her back to the Enclave with Yugiri to give Gosetsu his precious persimmon. Come, let us follow them. You have that look, Alphino. What is it? Oh, nothing of consequence, most like. We can discuss it upon our return. He is making that face again. That thinky face. I suppose Tsuyu is to become an official Doman citizen. But what then? Will they keep her hidden here forever? Or might she one day be allowed to walk amongst her countrymen? That's a good question that I have zero answer for. So it would seem there will be one less prisoner at the exchange. I only hope Yotsuyu's presence here will not present further problems. Me too. We get enough of those. We should pay a visit to Gosetsu and reassure him about Tsuyu's fate. He'll want to know that the Empire has finally relinquished its claim on her. I expect he'll be thrilled.
Gosetsu, are you awake?
My lord, come in, come in. When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me. She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber. Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
The ambassador arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Yotsuyu to her senses. It was plain their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Yotsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
I like this Asahi less and less.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Yotsuyu to remain with us in Doma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
There was one other detail at the meeting which caught my attention. I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder...
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
If the ambassador wanted me dead, he has had ample opportunity. No, assassination is not his intent, but we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
My lord! Forgive me, but the Lady Tsuyu, she's gone!
Gone?
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
No, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell. She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
Yep. We've got to put a bell on her or something.
Help! 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 Help me!
Oh, here we go.
If only I hadn't remembered. He should hate me. But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
Who's there?
Oh, it's you. What you doing out here in the dark?
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
You're the bane of our existence, Tsuyu, a font of misery. You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh, no. You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure. We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine. I don't deserve this.
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament. You've kept your looks at least. I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer. Maybe enough to get us to Kugane and start a new business.
Ah, my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Yes, this is how it always was. How it was meant to be. Very well. If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it. To the very depths I have sunk, my soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask. Father, Mother, was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world? For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma. Against all my enemies. And it begins with you!
Tsuyu! What?
No!
Well done, dear sister. Did I not say you would come back to us?
Brother dearest, what a surprise. You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
Your dagger yet drips with their blood, and you presume to judge me? To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance, and the power to see it through.
Please. I don't want to die.
Any sign of her?
Sort of.
What happened here? I knew what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother? Whatever he wants with her, he was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives. But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
Ah, hello others. Thanks for gathering at this hour. So Asahi got his way in the end, at an unspeakable price. He really is a vile little worm, isn't he? It's true. Tsuyu hid her recovery well. I had no inkling that her memory had returned. I keep asking myself when it could have happened. At the meeting with her parents, perhaps. But then, why would she... Nay, there's naught to be gained from such conjecture. So Tsuyu has returned to the bosom of the Empire after all. I cannot say I'm surprised, but what I struggle to fathom is Asahi's aim in all of this. I suspect we're going to find out very soon. We have recovered the Nayuri's remains, and will hold the cremation anon. Would that they had never again set foot in Doma. I broke the news to Gosetsu myself. He was quiet. I think it best that he be allowed some time alone with his thoughts. That seems prudent, yes. I think we're going to have to continue this next time, though. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for the ramifications of all this. Take care until then, all of you, and goodbye.